Well, it's awesome to see you guys here tonight. I just kind of want to talk a little bit about the good of Bitcoin and how it can really empower people around the world and bring about global economic freedom. So a little bit about me. I actually used to work on Capitol Hill for a congressman. He was a little bit more conservative and all, but I was getting kind of frustrated in the current system, and I was seeing that although we could try to cut spending, although we could try to help people in third world countries, it was very ineffective within the system. So I kind of embraced the exit strategy and got involved in Bitcoin with Bitcoin Magazine, and then at the end of the summer got elected to the Bitcoin Foundation Board of Directors. So I see that Bitcoin is very unique in that it is a decentralized peer-to-peer currency. So when I say decentralized, there's no central point of failure. There's no central bank or central governing body controlling it that can be shut down. Also, I love how it's an open source project, so it encourages community involvement and community consent. So there isn't one person dictating what happens in the Bitcoin space, and furthermore, a lot of people can get involved. So a little bit about Bitcoin Magazine. I have some copies there for you guys. You can check us out online. Eric mentioned CoinDesk. Bitcoin Magazine is another resource where we have some in-depth articles, but also the print publication. But yeah, then Bitcoin Foundation, we're basically like a global umbrella organization, now incorporating some international affiliate chapters. We have done a lot of things, actually interfacing with regulators and basically kind of being a go-between between the Bitcoin community and that realm, providing information and really focusing on kind of getting more people involved in the space. So in terms of getting more people involved in Bitcoin, I think that the best trait about Bitcoin is how it prompts global financial inclusion. So I don't know, how many of you have a guess of how many people around the world are unbanked or underbanked? Yes? Okay.
At least 1 billion.
Yeah. Any other guesses?
4 billion.
What did you say?
4 billion?
Close. Okay, in between. Were you going to guess?
No.
Okay, 2.5 billion people around the world do not have access or are prohibited from having bank accounts. And the great thing about Bitcoin is you don't need a bank account to have Bitcoin. So think about this. It's a way in which we can actually get people funds they need and empower them financially without discriminating on where they live, their race, or even their gender. I've been appalled seeing how women around the world are treated, and I think there are a few of us in this room, 3 of us, yes, like looking around. But think about this, there are women in certain countries like Saudi Arabia and Afghanistan who are told you absolutely cannot have a bank account just because you're a woman.
Right.
So good luck in getting out of an oppressive situation. Well, with Bitcoin, it's unbelievable. You can actually send funds to that oppressed woman if she has internet connection and has an online wallet, and pretty much no one can find it if she's keeping her online use safe. So that's really amazing to think about empowering people. Also, think about someone in a third world country who wants to be able to start up a business or have, even access to a global economy. There are actually a lot of people in countries around the world who have better access to internet than a bank account, even in the US. And I think some of us too in this room might not like having our bank accounts, and might not like using credit cards. So I just think it's really neat. And also, there's no wealth requirement to having Bitcoin. So you can you can be someone who is a very wealthy investor, even a billionaire who's gotten into the Bitcoin bandwagon, or you can be someone like a woman I'm going to talk about a little bit named Ala Kanani from Botswana, who is literally starting up a Bitcoin community there, who certainly doesn't have as much funds as we have in this room. So I like how Bitcoin's creator and founder, Satoshi Nakamoto, or it could be a group of individuals with the name Satoshi, really didn't ask for a VIP pass or didn't hand out VIP passes. Some of these altcoins, have you guys heard of altcoins? Okay, so some of them are kind of pump and dump schemes, right? What they do is they give people like a free pass and pick some favorites. No, anyone from the start was able to get involved in Bitcoin, and you so can as well. You don't need some VIP pass to get involved. And it's so, I feel like it's very libertarian oriented because you can invest at your own risk and you can choose how much time you put into it. So it's really neat. Yeah, and I don't know, Eric didn't talk about this yet, but in terms of security with Bitcoin, another benefit is that you are choosing to give out a certain amount. You're not trusting that someone's going to come into your Bitcoin wallet or account to take out the correct funds. So how many of you guys heard about what happened with Target? Yes. How many got an email from Target? Yes. Okay. How many had to shut down credit cards? Yes. Yeah. Okay. That wouldn't have happened if that person was using Bitcoin. Isn't that amazing? So you're not trusting someone to take out their funds. Also, the companies that are accepting Bitcoin aren't having these hefty transaction fees. So that's great for like a business standpoint in the U.S. But now let's think about globally now with transaction fees. How many of you know what money remittance is, or have heard of it before?
What did you say?
Money remittance. So basically, that's sending money overseas through services like Western Union or other larger companies. So Bitcoin is now really an asset to this area. There are some startling statistics that sending money, say, to Sub-Saharan Africa. So hypothetically, I'm here in the U.S. in Atlanta, and I've been able to get a worker's visa from Kenya. I've come over here, and I'm working very hard to send money back to my family, right? Now, with a service like Western Union, if I was to send money back to Sub-Saharan Africa, can anyone guess what the average fee is to send money from?
Depends on the dollar.
12 to 50 bucks for a transfer.
Okay, but
on my end, and
yeah,
it's probably about the same on their end.
Yeah, so actually, like 12%, sometimes up to 20%, is taken out in the process of sending money back to people who really, really need it. So these aren't, it's not just like, again, I mentioned Bitcoin's such a wide community, but billionaires involved and then people who are impoverished who are latching onto this currency. So with Bitcoin, you can lower that fee through services like BitPesa to 3%. So 9% savings for someone who really truly does need that money. So BitPesa was created this fall by someone named Elizabeth Rosiello, based in Kenya, and the service is phenomenal. So someone here is working, earns money in USD, converts that very quickly and easily to Bitcoin, then sends those Bitcoins over, all instantaneous transaction to BitPesa, the service. BitPesa converts those coins into a local currency, only takes out 2 to 3% flat rate, and I assume as time goes on that rate's actually going to decrease. And then gets the money same day to that family or whomever in Kenya. There are a lot of other companies dealing with this in other parts of the world. So again, this is just one element of how Bitcoin's empowering the poor and people who really need funds. So I mentioned Alakanani from Botswana, but this story has really inspired me. So I mentioned before as well that I used to work in Capitol Hill, and one of the things I was passionate about was foreign aid and really helping people, overseas, and how could we use even U.S. funds to do so. But what I was starting to realize is there are so many hands, there's a term hands in the cookie jar, right? Taking out funds, middleman effect, so this person gets funds along the way. You don't have to worry about that with Bitcoin. I mean, if I were to send anyone here coins right now, you get it directly. And with some of these services, it's very targeted to who's receiving the funds. So Alakanani learned about Bitcoin, I think it was about this fall, and thought, wow, this is a really interesting technology. How can I use this in my village in Botswana to empower people? So she did her research, and she's very active on the internet now. She started posting on Bitcoin Reddit. Anyone heard of Bitcoin Reddit before? Okay, so Redditors, awesome. She posted her story and basically shared that she's interested in growing the Bitcoin community there, raised some funds in Bitcoin, and I mean, so much easier than someone here trying to donate fiat currency or like wire her money, right? Very, very expedient. Sent Bitcoin directly to her Bitcoin wallet, and now she started to educate on Bitcoin. So if I had a projector, I'd show her video here, but it's super inspirational. I think I might post it on the Facebook group. Basically, she talks about how Bitcoin is such a tool to not only help people in Botswana, but even like help the government, because the government there is struggling so much. So to help people have financial wealth so that there's better health care, there's limited alcoholism, more employment for the youth. So think about it. We've learned about this as a technology and a currency, but now it's even a movement towards change in society and freedom. And that's liberating to me. So yeah, her story is incredible, and I look forward to you guys watching the video. So just a little bit more about Bitcoin helping people in a practical way right here. Bitcoin is, I would say, a catalyst for charitable development. So think about this. If you donate a Bitcoin, most likely it's going to go up in value. So I've donated coins to one of my favorite charitable organizations, BitGive. Basically what they're doing is they're collecting donations in Bitcoin and partnering with projects like one of which is the Water Project, donating clean water to sub-Saharan Africa. And other organizations like Sean's Outpost, where they're helping the homeless in Pensacola, Florida, or even donation drives. That donation is probably going to grow in value. So if you donated this fall, earlier this fall, the value's gone up. And also, this organization can be tapped into a global network and can send those funds instantaneously to those in need. So pretty phenomenal. And then going back to the amazing reason too, taking out the middleman. I have a great picture that I like to use in my presentations of literally like a cutout image, like getting rid of the middleman factor and sending directly. I don't know about you guys, but I'm apprehensive sometimes in donating to certain charities, like the Red Cross, for instance, right? You don't even know where all of your funds are going. So with Bitcoin, it's a technology to be used even by charitable organizations to donate directly to specific projects, donate internationally very quickly, and also even if there's time like a state of emergency or one of the things that BitGive was involved in was helping typhoon victims, so sending money directly there. And the Bitcoin community has proven to be very generous. Did you guys hear about Dorian Nakamoto? Who knows about Dorian Nakamoto? Okay, some are nodding. Okay, so basically